Hello.
Hello, Dab. How are you?
Good. How are you, Pichan?
Good, thank you.
So, I just want to say we're into the third week and we're still getting new anime for the season. It's crazy.
Mhm. That's right. That's right. We're getting new anime,
Yeah, and I've
and we're still getting finales.
yeah we're
It's like oh yeah, the My Hero.
yeah we
We
just
just
got
got
the My
the
Hero finale last week,
finale. Hmm.
and but
So
we're starting with with Arifureta. I want to start with the Fairhish no one.
yes, yes. Go ahead.
Okay, well I just want to say that this is like one of my favorite isekais. Like I remember
Me too.
watching it and just falling in love with the character Hajime and his struggle, right? From
Me
weakest
too.
to strongest. And at least at, at least like unlike some other like isekai protagonist, he pretty much has set in stone that he's only gonna be with one woman at the end.
Mhm.
But he does
Mhm.
care about the other ones in their own way.
Mhm.
So that's what I really gravitate towards him, and he looks badass, of course, guns and all.
I honestly do like him, and I like that like Kirito. He reminds me of a lot like Kirito, like he might look like he has a harem, but he's only like loyal to one person and interested in one. Like the other
Yes,
ones can make up their fantasies and ideas, and he loves them, but not ever that way, and he will never show it only to this one person. And it's
exactly.
like, yeah,
That's one of my favorite aspects of him as well. So
me too.
in this episode for the third season, first episode, we get a really small recap of like what happened in the previous season, and I like that it wasn't just like
Right.
yeah, like
With
us them
fire.
showing it. Well, it was them showing it, but it was more so like they were showing it because the main girl, I forgot her name, she's
You
Yuri,
Yui.
Yui,
Yui.
Yui.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because Yui was the one that was like kind of jotting down like in her diary about
Mm-hmm.
it, and they did ask like we did get a mention that we only have like two big labyrinths to conquer now, which
Mm-hmm.
I did not recall, so it was nice to get that
And they're on
refresher.
the of one. Yeah, the
Yeah, and
like
they're on the path to one, and little cute moment with them with Hajime and Jui with he's
yeah,
kind of like
getting
asking her like what's up, and she's like, oh, it's just nothing, you know, a little secret. And
yeah, they're cute.
mhm.
Yeah.
And
I know they're one of my this is one of my favorite isekais too.
yeah, I
And it
mean,
is because he's very sincere in the way that um of the reasons um he does things. Like
yeah,
he was weak, and he became strong not to become a hero.
no,
He was he was he's a failure. Like his other class. It's like failure frame. Like he
yeah,
was considered a failure, put aside, while like other classmates of his were thought as the heroes. He just became strong so he wouldn't die in that world,
mhm.
and along the way
Yeah, and I
care
like
about the cities and that's what it's about, and I really like that.
yeah, and like I like how they recontextualize that, obviously because now he has more people with him, so it's not so that he's cold and ruthless to be cold and ruthless now, right? It's that he's very
Yeah.
calculated because now, obviously, like you said,
Hmm.
he went through a lot of stuff and he had to become strong to survive. But now it's like not
Hmm.
really about acquiring strength to survive; it's acquiring strength to protect those he cares about or like those
Hmm.
closest to him,
Hmm.
like the
Yeah, it
Che.
developed, it grew from that to that, and
Mm,
it's really cute.
mm-hmm.
It's really cute. It's not about being a hero. I like that
Definitely not.
too.
I mean,
So.
in this episode, we pretty much get the sense that he doesn't want to be a hero, right? They straight up
Hmm.
are one of the guys, the knight Koki, what was his name?
He's one of the heroes. Yeah, one
Yeah,
of
one
the
of the
main
heroes, one
heroes.
of his classmates that came with him was like, because they're hearing this like lesson about like the imperial capital, and how like they own slaves and they enslave like beastmen, and it was
Mhm.
like, you know, we should go down there and free them. And he was like, you know, we're not from this world, right? We're other worlders. Like, we shouldn't get involved in like things that we have no like play in, right? Like nothing
Yeah.
that, like, if
Yeah.
what are they gonna accomplish if they do that, right? Like, they have no stake in
Yeah, they have
saving
no
them.
business in it. Yeah,
So,
they have
and that would, and also like he just, like we said, his main goal is to like get back home and be with Yui, because he wants to bring her
Mhm.
with him.
Mhm.
So that's like his main objective, and derailing from that for people he doesn't know, or like thinks he's, or like, you know, uh, variables that are not outside of his knowledge wouldn't really go well, you know.
Mhm.
And you know, like it's pretty nice to not have an MC that just like, yeah, let's just go save everybody, right? He's very
Mhm. Yeah.
he's very more so like, he chooses his battles, and he makes sure that when he chooses them,
Mhm.
he's able to go at them with like uh good conscience, right, about it. He does however, save some people we recognize from first season, you know, because
Mhm.
they're hovering over, and they see two beastmen like about to be supposedly killed by the Imperial soldiers, but it turns out like they're good buddies of Hajime and the crew, because they're like the same beastmen that he trained, I think, back in season one.
Yeah. Yes. So I love that we're going back to 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 the first character, to one of the first characters that you met. I'm definitely loving that Yui stays the mysterious vampire, only one like her, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like she's extinct, you know, like, you
Yeah,
know, she's like the only one of her kind. But then when it comes to this bunny girl, we knew from the beginning that she belongs in a tribe, that she belongs in this kind of beast, you know, um, race, you know, and and that she was, you know, very proud of that. Like there was pride in that, you know,
yeah,
and I'm glad that we're going back to that in larger scale, you know,
yeah,
and we
yeah,
get to see more details of it too, and then it amplifies the 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 relationships between them, right?
yeah.
Because I do remember seeing in the first few episodes of this season that she struggles to basically like
Assert
ask for
yourself.
help, you know? Yeah.
That's,
So
yeah, and we it's also like you said, I'm glad we're going back to explore more of her tribe, right? Because I think in the first season they gave us like one episode, or
mhm.
like maybe one and a half, if I remember
Mhm.
correctly, and then it was like, okay, we got this, we're done, we're moving on to the next plot. And
Yeah.
I feel like that is like, that kind of did a disservice to Shea in a way.
Mhm.
And this episode is kind of like, okay, so this is what you're about, right? We find out that her people are constantly like getting enslaved and attacked for no reason by the Imperial guards, right?
Mhm.
And most of them have to go into hiding, and the reason is because they they're not really trained properly to fight. But obviously, with the tribe that Shea belonged to, Hajime was able to get there in time to help them fend for
Mhm.
themselves. So it does
And
go.
and I mean from season 1 to, like you said, we did get like an episode and a half. So he did like leave his mark with, you know, a few of the youngest um
Yeah.
of the tribe, and I'm really glad that we also see a growth, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or you know more of that, you know, later, like you know,
Yeah, like it
yeah,
goes kind of
like
full circle, right? Now he
yes,
helped them,
yes.
and now they're doing their most to help their own
Mhm.
tribe. So it's one of those
Mhm.
things that you pay forward, you know. And,
Exactly.
and again, like I like how these people like they faked that they were being cornered only to like then be able to kill the imperial soldiers, right?
Right.
and and like I love that they all like decided, oh, we're gonna have different names now, right? Like I think Par, like the young guy, he's like Narfald now or something like that. And like they're so prideful in the name that they chose that now they don't want to be called like their previous name. Um, and and then we also have like I think they wanted to like rebrand like their tribe to be more a symbol of Hajime and his influence. Like they were calling it like the Red Dead Crimson or something like that, or like the White Fang something. It symbolizes red his white hair. And
Yeah.
yeah, and it was nice because like they let him know that Shea's father got captured along with like some other beastmen. and
Yes.
and Shea was kind of like not being like you said, he wasn't very being very forward, very honest with herself, and trying
Right.
to not worry Hajime, but like you, he instantly like noticed that her smile wasn't the same, and it was due to like the fact that whenever she's worried, like her ears move a certain way.
Mhm. Yep.
So and it's just like a nice reassurance for Che that he is paying attention to her, right, and he does care to her more than
Mhm.
she realized. And
Right. Or things. Yeah.
mm-hmm. And you know he ends up with like let her know like you're precious to me, you know, kind of like how not necessarily what he says to Yui, but like in that same like endearment kind of thing, like he
And
cares
it's
about
yeah, in a
her.
most like unique way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like his unique way of like showing his appreciation for her.
Mhm.
And like then Cher just like lets him know how it is, right? And he's like, all right, that's all you had to say. Let's go get him.
Yeah, I love it. I
Mm.
love it.
And the episode ends off with like we see Cher's father just smiling in the cell. I thought that was really cool. What good way to end it. Um, no, yeah, this episode really I really enjoyed because obviously it brings a lot of like it brings in some heavy themes of like slavery and you know oppression and stuff. So it's like we're getting into very heavy topics. It's feeling like this season might be a bit more political than the other two seasons that we've gotten so far.
I agree. I agree. But I feel like throughout the first two seasons, they laid out a lot of ground of the politics. You know.
They
So.
did. They definitely
So.
did, especially when it came to the other world. It was like Hajime and his class. Like they're
And the
they're.
princess
Mm-hmm. I mean, they were practically
and the
used.
teachers. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and the teacher.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they were used
And
for.
even the labyrinth. You know.
I mean, the
So.
labyrinth is definitely like whoever controls them has like a big pool in the world, which is another thing, you know.
Right.
But yeah, uh, looking forward to it. I tomorrow there's 16
Yeah.
episodes this season, so we're
Woohoo!
we're gonna
In for a ride.
in for a ride, and this is going into next year too, so that'll be good.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, I love this series. I
Mm,
love all the characters.
they're all good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I am looking forward to getting more into the details about this story and further, you know.
yeah,
And
me,
just like you says, like um, they're getting closer to their goal, you know. So
yeah, two big ones. Could be this season. Who knows? We'll see. All
yeah,
right,
it really could be.
all right,
So
and that's all I gotta
with
say.
that, we
You get
wrap it up and go to the next one.
Next one is Magilumiere Magical Girl Sing, episode 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Amazon Prime
Take it away.
Magical Girl. Well, so our girl got hired to
Yes.
this startup company. Congratulations to her. We're very happy because then we're really getting this story,
Mm-hmm.
going with pros, with real pros.
Mm.
I like that she she definitely carries her own personality,
Yep.
like the whole impression of the boss being a cosplayer and her
Yeah.
thoughts about it, like she was just so funny, like girl, relax,
Yep.
like
She's never
you're in
seen a
a
cross dresser or a
yeah,
cosplayer.
yeah, and this is like magical girl startup company. What do you expect? Like,
Yeah.
um,
So I do one
mhm.
thing I want to say though, like that I
Is
found
it
really.
like do we get another person
Yes, we
in
did get
the company?
Nico.
Uh-huh.
He reminds me a lot of Deku.
Yes, me too.
Um, but I want to say like I do like how they make a differentiation part of like the difference in companies, right? Because they're saying that since they're a startup, technically you just get thrown into the wolves like as if you're a pro. Like you have no time to really practice or like
Oh yeah, the training.
yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
real like
They
pre
cannot
training.
afford the
You just have
training.
to like wing it and be good at it.
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and that's the kind of like I guess that's also like a price you have to really pay because like a startup company cannot just dedicate resources to training somebody new when they barely are making it to ends meet, right?
Right. Right.
And
So that is true. A girl was told that if she wanted training, the farthest she can get is the manuals, right? But good thing that she really is good at that.
yep,
That she's good at the book, you know, um, way of studying. So she,
yeah,
gets started with the broom and then yeah, and then she got her uniform, which is super cute,
mm-hmm.
and she looks super cute. So
Oh yeah, I do like how Nico is the one that's kind of like a kind of like too excited to like get them in a uniform, right? Kind of he's the one that makes technically he makes all the equipment that they do, so like he manages all that. And he was just so excited that he finally gets to try some new
mhm,
sparkle things on it, right? Like some new sparkle effects.
mhm,
So he's somebody that really loves his job. So that's why I rock with Nico. Like he just
mhm.
loves his job.
Yeah,
um
he's a nerd for sure.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Also just like our girl Kana, the our red hair.
yes,
She
yes,
is. I
she
do
really
like
is a bookworm.
and I like how that they have that differentiation between her and Hitomi, right? Because Hitomi's like a natural,
Yeah,
like she says she never read the books and she just knows how to be a magical girl, right? No
yes,
training, just winging it, just natural born talent and
instinct.
instinct. And
Mhm.
so and as when I saw
Yeah,
that
she's pretty good too.
hmm when I saw that I instantly thought, oh no, she's gonna be one of those that cannot train somebody. And um lo and behold, she was right, like because she was like, you gotta go zoom, and then you gotta feel the boom, stuff like that. And it's like
Yes.
you can't train somebody that like that. And that's how like Nico decided, okay, well, training with her is not gonna progress me. I'm gonna train how I feel most comfortable with. And that's when she picked up all the books, all the manuals.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. And then they threw her to the job, right? They got a job.
mm-hmm.
They
And
were
yeah,
mhm.
they threw her right with the job, right? Like you were saying. Oh,
Yeah.
um
Yeah, they really did.
and it was thanks to the I guess the president of the or the CEO of this company, right? He
Yeah,
kind of
the
just
boss.
yeah, the
Yeah.
boss just decided, you it's like he basically told it like, you're only gonna be able to be so much book smart, right? But it means nothing if you don't apply it, right? Essentially.
Mhm.
And it's like she was like, well, I just she just did not have like the confidence in herself, and he told her, well, you managed to change all the ammunition in the previous job with Hitomi, right? And that was like pretty
Mm.
advanced technology. She was like, no, 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 that's just like some of the basic stuff that was more manageable. And it's like, well, it seems to me like you have pretty uh, good talent, if you ask me, right? It's like it's
I
like
know.
he kind of instilled,
That was so good.
yeah, he
Such
instilled,
a good spot.
mm-hmm, he instilled in her like
Mhm.
the motivation and the I guess the how do you say faith in her, like like he had faith in her, and you know it was up to her to like show it and pay it back, right? So
Mhm.
they go and they have
To believe in it too.
mm-hmm,
Mhm.
he's able to finally transform and ride the broom. And he told me it's like, oh, look at you. And then she was like, please shut up. I'm trying to focus here. She had to put all her aptitude into just flying. You know.
Mhm.
Mm,
Yes. But we see also that there was a person in there, so that makes
yeah.
people trap in that, and that made things like more complicated,
Mm-hmm.
and because her friend just kind of goes by, for it.
Yeah, she winks it a lot.
She did that, and then on top of the room started malfunctioning,
Oh yeah.
and I mean at this point our friend really isn't doing much because you know
Technically,
the 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 other girl is like fighting the monster, save save the
yeah.
victim, and
Mm.
then yeah. So I'm glad that she found a way to support, you know, to give support
Bless you.
and thank you, and make
Bless.
sure that the other one succeeds,
Yeah. Well,
and that was really really good that because that's the other guy's job, right? Like the other guy, I mean, they're supposed to be watching each other or checking like the softwares from there. But she was like,
yeah.
"Hey, take a look at this at the broom of hers
Yeah, Nico,
because
like
it's
he's
doing
the one
something
that maintains and yeah, like Nico's supposed to be the one that like watches them, watches how their
Right,
equipment is, and like obviously there's only so much you can really do from behind the desk, right? You're not gonna be able to
right,
notice everything. So like the fact that Kana was able
right,
to spot that, right,
right, exactly.
and just be like, well, this is what's happening, and it's like, well, she's not gonna be able to hold that much longer because hers is like an outdated one, right? And she remembered her reading like in the manuals how like these brooms have like a attack option,
Like a one hitter, yeah,
like a one hit option, and it was
like
like
yeah, like a one hitter,
pretty powerful one if you
yeah.
ask me, right? Like that was he was basically like getting ready to fire it, and Hitomi got a notice that Nico's gonna go for it, and she decided to trust her, let her have the opportunity to shine for a bit, and she pulled through, and
She sure did.
yeah, they captured another one. Mission accomplished. Everybody's crying, tears of happiness. One because
I
the
like how they're USBs to capture these monsters.
yeah, like in flash drives.
Yeah, flash drives and USBs.
Hmm.
That's so cool.
It is. It's very unique, right? Because in most other like animes, you would have them like disappear the body completely, right? And in this one's
Hmm.
you capture the flash drive. So like I said, I think this is more so to like have them be studied and then use that study method to like create even more magic.
Right. Something, there's gotta be something that they could do with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
So,
do gotta say like this bunch of characters that we met in this office, right? The boss,
hmm.
such a crier, right? And then because he cries, the other guy cries. You know, it's like okay, it's like wow, these people really just have a nice unity. You know, like nice united front. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so far we're just kind of getting through the bases, getting to understand the characters and like stuff happening in the world.
You also
So like
saw the boss talking to someone, right? Like the prime minister, some political, like governmental, like
it was like
government.
yes, somebody from like the Japan Parliament or something. I think somebody he knew though. Somebody in the
Yeah, they definitely seemed like they were very familiar. Like,
hmm.
but I can't remember what it was really about. But well, I obviously it
Oh,
was
it was
about him.
because they blew up the floor practically. So
Oh,
so you know it's probably more so with like they were not
the
supposed
damage.
to have that heavy damage in there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and among other things, right? Probably.
Mm,
But I
yeah.
do, I do want to know more of how because of that call. I want to know like if the government has certain pool in this, right? As well, like obviously
Mm-hmm.
they have to get something out of it, like isn't it like
Right.
or like how much control they have over this
Right.
business will be because like based on like this episode like you can pretty much like I assume like there's a kind of like a list of like kai that they have to do at a certain time and they send the offers to like these businesses so it seems like there needs to be like a priority you know on how to get them all done like which ones should be first which ones are getting out of control stuff like that you know
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm glad it's 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 taking more more paths or like or angles to this whole magical girl. Not only being run as a business, but really like is has interacts with the public and the government in that aspect and all that. So
yeah
like the some real some realistic aspects of it, so
yeah
not just the fun like cool aspect of fighting.
yeah it's,
I guess. Yeah,
yeah that's all I
yeah, I'm liking it so far. So I'm
me
gonna
too I mean and we just
keep
have to
watching it.
yeah and we have to say like the animation stellar obviously
Oh,
we
it's
gotta mention
such
how
a
clean it is
such a treat to the eyes, really.
yeah
Like what? Like so so beautiful. Like it's so in the colors and the
yeah
designs and
I
it just feels new and modern. It just feels like the most like advanced technology, like
yeah
for yeah, yeah, I don't know, CGI or not. I don't understand,
yeah
whatever they're doing.
I don't think they're doing much CGI with the people which is good
Right.
it's mainly just the
Like
kai
the monsters and yeah.
yeah so yeah I'm excited for more can't wait for more magical girls yeah.
Mm.
All right
And
that
with that. we're good. So,
Next one we should talk about now is Uzumaki. We got two more left in the tank for this one.
mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, like, straight off, this might have been the creepiest one yet. I
Yeah, I have to agree. I have to agree. All these baby mosquitoes. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they were creepy.
Mm. And
And then the
also,
tornado. Oh my
yeah,
god.
I definitely think they packed like it felt like they packed a bit too much. Like the past two haven't
Yeah.
been like too many, or at least they didn't feel like too many. This
Uh-huh.
this one felt like we went from one horror to the next, then to the next, and to the next, and then I was like, oh my god, like the.
Mhm.
So I guess we should talk about the baby one because that one to me is like the creepiest one.
Mhm.
So it all starts with like the spirals. Of course, it starts with the spirals.
Yeah.
Um, the mother of Chuichi is so traumatized still to this day. You know, to the point where now like they are they were reevaluating her, and she didn't. Luckily, she didn't manage to like pay attention to the poster that had like the eardrum and how it had like a kind of
Mhm.
like a spiral shape in the eardrum, right? And
Yeah, I had the snail. Mhm.
mm-hmm. And she started going crazy over that, right? Like because then she got like a centipede stuck in her ear that she pulled out and then formed in the shape of a spiral that reminded her of her late husband.
Mhm.
Like there's a spiral there, and she was going crazy over that, right?
Yes.
Oh my god! And then of course it ends with her eventually stabbing her own ear. You know.
Yes. Yes. She once again, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Of
um,
course.
took matters to her own hand, and it's just going critically insane. Like this woman is
Mm-hmm.
definitely struggling
Oh, she is.
with just yeah, the trauma. So
Mm-hmm. And the other one that's
so sad.
struggling, it's our good girl Kyrie or Kiri. The main.
Yeah, she is in
She was in pretty bad
in a lot
shape.
of ways. In a
You know.
lot of ways, she is being super traumatized.
Yeah, and it. I want to say like I did not like I kind of like
How
had a
she was taken to the hospital,
yeah.
and then she finds her cousin, and oh my god.
First of all, our first hint was, oh, this thing is kind of heavy. What do you use it for, or why do you need it for? Right at a hospital, right? When she's the cousin herself is pregnant, right? It's like you don't need to be carrying something heavy while you're pregnant, right? So it's like
Mhm.
that's our first hint that we should have been like, okay, something's up, right?
Mhm.
And then when they're talking about, oh, the mosquitoes are like mating in a spiral, right? And it's like it was kind of creepy, like you know, creepy as it can be. And then of course, like the next day, where we find out that some patients died, and due to like mosquito bites, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, first of all, onset happened right when they said like the mosquitoes that technically drain a lot of blood are the ones that are pregnant. I'm like, oh, these pregnant girls are probably, or like this pregnant cousin is sucking the blood of patients.
Mhm.
And I'm like, but how, right? That's like I want to know like how she was doing that to make it seem like it was a mosquito bite, right?
Mhm. Yes, this whole like thing with the pregnant ladies and mosquitoes was so creepy because you know,
I mean,
they were attacking at night
yeah,
and they got, they got a lot of victims. So,
yeah. Not only that, like you looked at them and they looked kind of like drained of life, right? They looked kind of like you know, basically they looked drained themselves, right? There you could see like their bone cheeks, right? And they were walking
mhm.
slowly. They had traces look in their eye. And
Yep.
our poor girl Kiri like caught one of them, on her late night snack. And what ended up happening is she had to get chased by all of them, of course, right? Can't have a
Mhm.
person see them suck blood and live to tell the tale. Uh, and of course, like once like she manages to escape them, right, for the night. But like when she tries telling
Mhm.
everybody like what was happening, they're like, "Oh, you're crazy," you know, like that can't happen in this hospital ever, right? It's
Mhm.
like your injuries are tricking you or something like that, right? It's your meds. And lo and behold, like we start seeing like some babies later start getting born, right? Uh, yeah, and these babies are talking straight out of the womb, and they're like talking about like, oh, this doctor like pulled us out. He can probably put us back in the womb, right? Because they were like getting hungry from the lack of drinking blood,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they were creepy as fuck. And that whole thing with the shrooms, that everyone's eating shrooms or whatever those shrooms
yeah,
that
the
they think
shrooms.
were.
Yep, that was also they were like in a spiral shape too, and it was they were making him go crazy as well. And I don't know, it was of course like once they got one of the babies back into the cousin's womb, right, and then she started sucking uh the doctor, right, but it was like, okay, it's alright, you gotta get out of there, Kiri, like don't stay there. you know
Yeah, but only that Chi knows. Thank God he had those um
Bug sprays.
yeah, the bug spray. So
Yeah, if it wasn't for Trichi, she'd probably be you know looking like the girl stuck in the pole, which we found out, like the girl that also had the crazy hair from last episode. She was in the pole,
mm.
drained of life, starved to death.
Yeah.
um Kiri just could not catch a break ever since her hair went crazy, right? Now she
Mhm.
first these zombie lady mosquito sucking you know creatures attacked her at the hospital after she left. Then she had a whole ass tornado just waiting for her outside.
Yeah, just stalking her.
Just stalking her, like waiting for her to come out. And even the little brother was like, the tornado's calling you, like you should go, right? And I think like Truichi also like stepped in, saved her again, right, from getting pulled right away, but also kind of pulled her so the tornado wouldn't get her family killed. And it was pretty wild. Like I think before they did invite Tuichi there, right, to eat, and
Mhm.
he looked like he had not eaten in days. Like just the way he was scarfing food. It's like the type you see of like when a person has not eaten in days. And lo and behold, like one of the things he was eating had a spiral because Chuichi's dad inspired Kiri's dad, who's the makes pottery, to start creating art in the shape of spirals. So of course,
That's right.
yeah. So of course the noodles had to be in spiral, and Chuichi was like, had like a little psycho moment where like he thought his mom and dad were calling him from the furnace, and he uh he broke it open and unleashed more of the spiral curse into the atmosphere, and that's what caused the tornado that then went for Kiri. Yeah. You want to talk about
Yeah.
the little monster section that came for Kiri?
Mm, yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, Kira was being. I like that they had the family together, she, and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, so the Chi really knows how to I don't know, tell these things. I feel like because
Yeah, it's very
he
odd.
really pulled her out of the house. I said, he's after you. If you're going to stay there, your family's in danger, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that he did that, and that
I mean, he
that is
also,
saving her, and that eventually it left, the tornado or whatever.
yeah, after
So
he pulled them, the tornado pulled them up to the surface, up to the clouds. Somehow they miraculously like
mhm.
landed safely in the ground. Beats me,
Well,
but yeah, I think like after that, their home did get destroyed, but the family was all safe, and they moved into these kind of uh like temporarily homes, right? With where they were living next to like a lady and a son who apparently had like some disease, right?
mhm.
And that's why you heard moans at night, so people thought it was a monster.
Oh yes, yes. Oh
And
yeah, that creepy neighbor.
mm-hmm,
Oh my
he was just like looking
God.
at Kiri, right, the entire time. And then
Oh,
what happened? Then the spirals took over him, and he became a actual monster. That started chasing after her, and Chuichi being the best. Chuichi's like the MVP, like best boyfriend
mhm,
award goes to that man because he has been pulling her through like a lot of these incidents,
mhm.
making sure she's safe. Well, he almost has to be like the anti-spiral of the series because my god, the way he just knows what to do, knows how to help the situation,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I gotta say I did not see the guy that got ran into the car like the previous episode coming back as like a with like his intestines being like springs or whatnot, right? In the
Mhm.
shape of a spark. Oh my god, that was yeah, it was it's been interesting experiencing Uzumaki.
Yeah, the car spiral, or like, yeah, that was crazy too. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like every episode ends the same way, right? It's like strange things keep happening to this town. It's like but I but at some point it's like I think you're like you just become numb to it, and that's like the explanation they're giving for why people don't leave because they're just like used to this strange thing. So to them, it's just like, you know, it's something that happens here. It'll be fine, Which
Yeah.
so given we have one more episode left, right?
Mhm.
Which thing, uh, would at which point would you have left this town, right? For
Mhm.
for you personally, like if you had to choose like from this episode or like the previous episodes, at what point do you leave town?
Mm, probably from the second episode. By the third one, I wouldn't have any doubts. Like I would definitely.
See, I think like after I saw like after the first one when I saw somebody's uh get sucked into a whirlpool that was stuck on their head, right? I think after that I would consider it, right? After almost getting
Mhm.
strangled by hair, I would have been like, okay, one more thing and I'm out of here. After I saw the creepy ladies suck blood like that, I'm like, I'm out. This is it. Like you
Mhm.
can't you can't get me to stay there any longer.
Yeah, even from the hospital, I would have been out of there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty bad. Like, oh my god. Oh, got anything else to add to Somaki?
No,
Because
that's
yeah,
all.
I think it's episode two was a bit rocky, but I think um, for me, the slow movement of the ladies moving, of the pregnant ladies moving slow, really added to like the
Mhm.
creepiness for me, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is something. Yeah, that's it for me. You?
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean,
okay,
I'm really curious to see Carrie. Um,
we're gonna finish it next week.
you know.
Finally, yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe maybe I'll see it again. On Halloween all the way through.
A binge.
Yeah, like a binge. All right. Well, that's it for that one. All right. Next one. I say Reincarnated Aristocrat. Okay.
Yay.
This one is so. It's getting really good. You know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you want to take it away with how the episode starts?
Um, so I mean, it started where it left off the last one, where they're going over the the negotiations, and she just kind of lets them know that she 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 did as she planned. Then we kind of see that the prince was, having a little bit of the tantrum,
Yeah.
and he went to kind of like he didn't understand the ways why they would have to deceive, to lie, and like you know strategize and manipulate the the negotiation instead of being so straightforward and honest as he ideally thinks.
Yep.
And I like that as he's like kind of like frustrated about that, and that he's being looked at the one doing the wrong thing when he's trying to do the right thing. um he's told, right, that people have different ways to express love for their country and their loyalty,
Yeah.
and especially if they have you know um different angles and aspects of how they grew up. Him being the prince, he he didn't have to lie or do anything for people to agree or have it, but
Yeah. So like.
for people that don't have that influence and power,
Yep.
like
Exactly.
they have to be more creative on their pitch,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
so
And
that was, you know
yeah.
and
No.
I like that he went to the girl and apologized,
Mm-hmm.
and asked if how can be of assistant, and he really did assist, so that was good.
Yeah, he did. He did assist because he ended up attending a bunch of parties for like an entire week, and he just kept spreading one
Hmm.
of the rumors that was gonna be asked during the negotiations. And I
Right.
like you said, it was nice that he went and asked Lisha because he unlike her, right? He, like you said, he has more pull, more power. So like the one person that can probably teach him how to better maneuver people is her, because that's her whole MO, right? She knows how to read people, knows how to negotiate with people a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Because he went to, if he would have gone to ours would not have like been quite the good teacher like Licia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know, this kind of like, for this was like his big moment, right? Because this was when he realized like how idealistic his thinking was, right? How like childish it can get, because like if they went with this plan, right, of you know, being upfront and undeceitful, they might have not been able to get the deal, right? And he couldn't
Mm-hmm.
rest that to be like on his shoulders that he failed his country. So he realized he had to grow, and grow he did, you know?
Yes.
And you know, this is this is like also like when they go back and report it all, you know, his father's kind of like, oh, you know, he's changed, you know, and and he's even like taking the training seriously as well now, right? And he just has a different demeanor about him, worthy of one that you could say like is kind of like worthy of inheriting a country, right? Being the lead, kind of like a like the next leader.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really an episode that it was letting us know that he's going to war, you know, going to battle for the first, especially when they made such an effort for him not to go in the last season, you know. So
Mm-hmm. So,
this time he's gonna be there.
which I love that we have this parallel, right, of Ars and Renge, the son of the king, right, or like future king, where Ars,
Mhm.
his growth has to be with being being more in the battlefield, right? Like his
Mhm.
growth is like something he had to overcome himself from the previous, because he wasn't able to handle blood, right? This guy
Mhm.
probably has seen maybe a few battles, so like he's more accustomed to the battlefield, but his growth was
Mhm.
more
Yeah.
mental, right?
Yeah. And he did. He
Yeah,
did. Art saw it in his stats that he did grow. So
yeah, that too. Like,
good for him.
good for him, and you know, we get the, like you said, they go basically on a little trip, right? Him and Alicia, like just roaming around, right? They have one like a few days off, and or a day off, and he decides to spend it with her because he doesn't know like when he's gonna be. Well, he wants.
Oh yeah, that was nice on the city.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, because he's about to go to war, so he's like, I might as well spend what I can with her, right? Because I won't be seeing her for a while, and you know, it just, like you said, like people didn't want him to go to war because you know he's the Lord, right? The one that
Mhm.
guides everybody. So like, you know, he got a bunch of gifts from the townspeople because he is very beloved by them, and you know, it's just further like you just see it like in Misha's like look that, yeah, I made the right choice by like picking this guy to marry, right? And for the like his last like stop, he decides to visit his father's grave, and it was like very touching because you know he goes in there and he's like, "Am I the man that? Am I a man now?" Right? You know,
Mhm.
it's like I've grown so much, like since his father left and since his father put him to the test, right? So he's been growing, both mentally and like physically, and he feels like now is like the time where he can really prove himself that he's grown, and he gets to see like his entire like uh what is it? Like the people he brought with him, right? His retainers show up also to like have a word with his father as well, right? Because obviously the Ar's father like also influenced them a lot. Gave Ritz like the tools he needed to be who he is. Same with Charlotte and Roselle, and the only one that didn't go was like our newest recruit, who had no like uh prior prior attachments to him. Mm.
Yeah. Well, it was for me. It was a very simple episode. He
Yeah,
was, finally gonna
yeah,
participate
yeah. I mean,
physically in it, and they concluded, the negotiations,
yeah,
so everyone knows their place going into this war.
yeah, and
Hmm.
they made pretty, they made it pretty well known that ours is the reason that they're gonna probably win it, right? So when this war is over and they come out victorious, he's one of the ones that's gonna be like in the main front. That he is the reason we were able to overtake the brother, right? And yeah, I mean, big setup episode for the war to come, and I can't wait.
That's right. Me too.
Okay,
Me
yeah,
too.
that's it, right? You got anything else?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, on to the next one. Next, Tower of God, one of our
Yes.
ongoing favorite ones. Okay,
For real.
I gotta say, I do enjoy the little backstory, like the little backstory or flashback, whatever, of Endorsi and Bomb having a little
Mhm.
talk at night.
Yes. Having their moment
Mm-hmm. She's
for sure.
she kind of is teasing Bam, with because he's picking up flowers for Rachel, and she's teasing him a bit, and it's like, okay, well, if we pass the exam, why don't we go on a date, right? Basically,
Right.
and he was like, yeah, and she trips, and he was like, you should really wear something that's more easier to walk in, you know,
Mhm.
and
Cute
mm-hmm,
to see a connection from there to now.
mm-hmm, because then we get
Just
mm-hmm, we get
like before.
yeah, just like letting us know that there is a connection between that she shares with
Mhm.
so then we get to what was happening in the previous episode with her coming down from the sky, you know
Yes.
and she basically took out the robot or the patrol bot that was after Bam and them, and in the traveler whatnot, and they make a very nice nice angle so you can see that. And Dorsey did take that to heart, right? Because she is wearing like shoes that are a lot easier to walk in than heels.
Mhm. Yep. The connection.
Mm-hmm. And she was like, "I'm here to. I finally found you. Viola. And the other guy was like, "Oh no no no! You have it all wrong. He's so kind. He couldn't be a food candidate, right?"
I know. I wanted it so bad for him to just sleep his name, but
Mm.
of course we don't get that lucky.
No no no! It's never that easy, Eh,
Mm-mm.
I like how creative Bam is, right? Because he kind of like uses the small explosions to like just to create enough space to escape, right? Not necessarily to like
Yeah.
hurt her, just enough for him to be able to get away. And of course, we do have
Yeah.
that moment of like Bam stopping in Dorsey for like a split second again, you know. So instantly in my head, I'm like, okay, and Dorsey already has the thought of like Bam because she's like the only other. There was a person that used to use that technique too, right? Like she knows that Bam used to
Right.
use that technique, so like you know she
Yes.
there is hope that she
It is
is
them.
that yeah there's hope that she is piecing it together. You know that Bam is she knows Bam is out there probably because we saw her like constantly ask the Emily bot or Emily chat thing questions for everything. So
I definitely like that endorsing and her friends, it was was happening, they had this kind of strategy to to capture or kill this violet party, so
yeah, they kind of wanted to take them out and especially take out Viola, who they don't know as Bam. You know, they wanted to like
mhm,
capture him or take him out mainly, and that's mainly because they think that he killed Kun. You know,
right.
yeah, and I like how like all this is going on and we still there's so many characters. Obviously, we have to like move along to see what others are doing, and we
Mhm.
get to see Kun and Prince again, and the Prince like is this really necessary? Running all this way, and Kun's like, yeah, 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 just keep going. You'll eventually be where you have to be, and lo and behold, they find like most of their teammates in this tower thing, right?
Yeah,
And
they did.
lucky for them, they found it, and it was the same people that let him go the first time, right? So that was kind of like
Mhm.
shows you like in this tower you never know like who could be coming, right? So like if most of the time you shouldn't let people live after you encounter them, right? Uh,
Right.
but
Yeah, that little battle or re rematch between our samurai and the right wing um
yeah, the right arm of
demon or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, right arm demon or
How did
whatever.
you feel about it?
It was good. I thought it was a good touch. There's like, individual and side characters own little, deals like things happening. So I think that's a nice little touch. So
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
that. Mhm.
what I like about that one is it was like one of those losses that Huts, that's his name, the little that he could not get he wanted to really like overturn because he said after I lost to you I practiced my sword swings like a million times over, right? So it was one of
Right.
those where Huts was made aware that of his own shortcomings, right? And made aware of how weak he was. So the only way, obviously, he realized, I might not be able to overcome it with like pure strength, but he was essentially overpowering him with the skill that he gained through practicing his wings until that skill
Right.
was
It was it was nice. It was very, very good to
yeah
to
it
get
was giving
that.
yeah it was giving you hope that he was going to be able to get his revenge, and then the guy turned it up a notch. He's like, okay, made him more aware of like you guys really aren't shit, compared to some of us in the big leagues, And the other thing that was happening was Anak versus Ran, the other Aguero, or like the other like blue haired guy, right?
I know that was cute. Yeah,
Yep.
fighting with the Lister girl princess. That was that was good.
Mm.
I'd enjoyed it. It was a good another side kind of like character, but you know, personal and individual. Like they had their moment. Like
Yeah. What I
they were doing this. You know,
yeah.
they were getting their own focus
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
See what I like about this one right here, right, is that this is like one of the jihad like you know granddaughters, I guess you could say, right, in Anak, and then you have one of
Mhm.
the close families that are tied to Jihad, like fighting it
Mhm.
out. So it was these are two people that are heavily gifted, you know, duking
Right.
it out, and obviously they didn't go all out because obviously that's not the point of this round. The point of this round is to get a shot in and send them somewhere else, right? Send them to the next
Mhm.
floor, or like eliminate them completely, right? So I like that they had like this little spar, which um you can expect their rematch to be better, hopefully, right? You know, this is
Mhm.
just like gauging each other out. So
Right.
it'll be interesting to see when they cross paths again. I think you
Yeah, it
should,
will be.
yeah, and I think one of my favorite parts is the Kun reappearance, right? Because to at least to the
Mhm.
rest of the world, right? We know he's been alive, but like
Mhm.
he made himself alive to save part of Bam's teammates,
Mhm.
and it was
Right.
like one of those things where the guy was like, I thought you were dead, and it was like, yeah, you could try to beat us or like take our bullets whatnot, but it's like, but you have no chance with me, right? Like
The part that I like the when they were fighting those three,
mm-hmm.
the dude kind of butts into their fight, and then he only blocks, doesn't dodge,
Yeah, oh yeah,
doesn't dodge.
with the
And then he says that to him. He's like, "You're gonna regret not dodging." And
yep,
I regret blocking instead of dodging, and it's like flying. I was like, "That's fucking neat."
yeah.
Uh,
That was a funny part of the that whole exchange, but yeah, Kun was back to his devious ways, like giving
mm,
these people options, like you gotta give me all your bullets, or or else, right? You're not gonna be able to
yeah.
fight me, so you'll be able to see us again in the battle shop, right? Just give us all your bullets.
Yes. Yeah.
And it does. Kun does get his way like he always does, and I like how the first instinct of like some of the people that were with Kun was like, we should go save the little girl and the other like prince guy, right? Like the other snob guy. Um, and Kun was like, if you're really gonna be a team, you gotta believe in each other, right? So instead of worrying about like what they're doing, worry about what you have to do for yourself, and hope that they're able to accomplish what they need to on their own.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, it was really good. I just like that the whole gang is getting together. I'm really, really, really finally excited, but obviously seems like Bam is just gonna like slip through their, their fingers. But maybe they get to see Cone, so that
I'm
will be uh,
yeah,
a step forward. So
hopefully,
I'm really, really excited to see what what more we're gonna get. But so far, we got this awesome fights, this two awesome fights, and Bam, making his way through it. But
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Bam is I mean, Bam kind of had to get through it because I think they did threaten him, like if he wasn't there at a certain time, right? That they might start killing people, right? you know, I think that was like
Mhm.
part of the part. They might start killing like Kun's people, so he kind of he had motivations to go there, obviously.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's like, and he did pull up. You know,
Definitely.
he pulled up with the gun. You know, it's all good. I'm excited for the next episode for sure. Um,
Me too.
okay, I got nothing else. You?
Me too. Me too. No,
All
that's
right,
it.
all right. Well, that's it. Okay, next one is You Are Miss Serpent. Ooh, two. Okay, so I really enjoy this one because it's like it's got its cutesy moments, right? And then it's got its very like dark tone moments with our maid here, her sir, or that is now known as Yuki, right? And we get a new addition to the family, you know, the little mochi dog. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, like we start off the episode with
Oh my God, I'm so glad that came into the picture.
the dog.
That dog, yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
That dog is just, it's just adds so much life to that. Yeah, I love it. I love
yeah,
that fucking dog.
I do too. I think it's a great addition to it, especially because
Yes,
we
me
start this
too.
episode kind of gloom, right? Because we're
Yes.
because Yuki is kind of like contemplating like why did my body move on its own when I went to go save the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I I personally feel like she's growing an attachment to him, whether it's love or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. You know, she's definitely
Mm-hmm.
having some sort of attachment to him, and the body her body just moved on its own in that way. And then obviously it reminded me a bit of My Hero. Same thing happened
Yeah.
with Deku where he moves on his own. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and we get we get the little dog introduced. Yay! Just leave,
Yeah, I love that dog.
just left out there. Owners did not care. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
and we have our good boy that what's his name? He starts with an H. Do you remember his name?
No. Mm.
Okay, well, our our like other our main boy here. He said first of all
I
he's
do
just
remember that the dog was called something like Mochi.
it was like I'm gonna get three or something like that. But I called him
Yeah,
Mochi. We're calling
yeah,
him
I'll
Mochi.
call him Mochi because that shit is too Japanese. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um. So he picks up Mochi, right? And the maid's kind of like it's kind of like in the same way that he showed her like saved her in a way too also, right? Because she had nowhere to go. So now
And no,
he's
it was not out of pity. I know it was so really good way that Mochi came into the picture
mm-hmm.
and put things in perspective in such a like I don't know good way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
even for her, it was just so silly how it was empathized that for her, he looked like a beast,
Yeah.
like someone that she needs to be scared of, and it's like, you know.
Yeah, and I think
But
that
it
was
was so funny because it was like the same as like him with her. So.
yes, it was like in a way where now she kind of like got an idea of how he felt when she first came into his life, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I like how they did that flip, and at first she was not at all for it, right? Because she kept she first of all she just wanted to leave him out and fend for himself because that's how she knew how to survive, right? She's like,
Mhm.
creatures just like if you leave them out, out there on their own, they tend to find a way to survive and cling to life. You know,
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's like a that's like a animalistic instinct that makes them stronger. You know, and I like how they had that paired off with like how for our main boy here, his human instinct is just to like save people, you know,
Correct.
or other living things.
Correct.
Since we got Mochi now, um, yeah, no, I mean, it just really showed us that uh Yuki had like a really rough upbringing, you know, in life. You know, for all we know, she was also made to starve and fend for herself with no help at all, right? Treated kind of like an animal.
Mhm.
So she's speaking from a lot of experience, and you know, I like how she made an analogy where it was like her world was kind of like a big musical chairs, right? And it was like little
Yeah.
by little, just like you things kept getting taken away. Things where like she could like rely on, which were like the chairs, right, for like support, were just taken away from her little by little until there's like only one thing left, and that's the our main boy here, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
you know, and she did say like, you know, she wanted to quit being an assassin and just start living a normal life. So you know, she's trying to like step step away from her former life and start anew. So that was which was like really interesting because like the boy basically said like, you know, you smile just like a normal girl like at times, right? And it's like
Yes. Um,
it's just like
and no, he said that if, she fell in, at first it's normal.
mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, because she couldn't take care of the our poor Mochi boy here before, right? She couldn't hold him for very long. Like she held him in like almost like lost it. Like she was about to have like a panic attack.
mm,
And you know, it was one of those things, right, where because she was trained as an assassin, there was no room for
yeah.
errors. So like she wasn't allowed to like make any mistakes in her past life. And you know, like one of the things that our boy is like kind of trying to teach her, like part of being normal is like allowing yourself to like make mistakes to learn from, right?
Right.
So she's really taking
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I did say. I had just said that
oh
for him, she was already starting to be normal because she was failing at things.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. So yeah, it was really, really cute. And the snow, right? It was a lot of things that they were putting into aspects, right?
yep,
And like the name Snow, he finally gave her a name,
yeah,
and then she's like, "Oh no, he does sees me as this cold person."
yeah,
And then he's like, "No, actually, I see you as this like white, beautiful, strong thing."
and
So
something that could
it's
be that could
warm.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it
exactly,
was very, very cute. To see all those parallels and opposites and connections,
yes,
and
especially because she remembered like what her previous name was also related to Snow, right? Like the name she was given to
hmm
by her former master, which was just like the way of her having to be this cold assassin, right?
yeah,
So
I
yeah,
was. I like that it was both snows, but in different ways of the word.
and you
Yeah,
know,
one it was like see you, and another one's Yuki. So
mm-hmm, yep,
mm,
and you know, our girl finally was able to hold Mochi in her hands without you know, wanting to. throw it or completely pass out.
Freak out. Mhm.
So very very nice of her, right?
Mhm. Yep.
And I think the episode just really wraps up with the our main boy's sister showing up. You know,
Oh yes, that's cute. That
so
that's the whole. Yeah, it leaves room to more for more. So
yeah, it
yeah,
seems
can't wait to see
more comedy,
see.
more dynamics are always good. So
Mhm.
yeah,
I definitely have to give a shout out to the note that it was left to the dog. That was funny.
mm-hmm,
So,
that was very funny. Uh,
but yeah.
yeah, yeah, no,
Oh, that's all I have to say
yeah,
for that one.
yeah, same here. All right. Up next is Ron Kamanoshi's
Right.
Forbidden Deductions, episode
The
15.
mystery one.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
so. You started off, or should I?
So I'm glad they mentioned a lot the name Moriarty, and they had that name of a woman like translated into a woman in another language, because like names can take
Mm-hmm.
other vowels or other pronunciations depending on the language, right? And the sex.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I love that I couldn't remember for the life of me that fucking name, and it was all over this episode. So very
Um,
cool to
yeah, I like how
to
it was.
hmm
Well, I really like how they played off this episode, right? A lot,
Me
because it
too.
was like
Me too.
we were
It was
in.
a lot of a cat and mouse kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
episode, but it was played out real good.
Yeah, and there was always kept me like intrigued because I never knew like what was the move that they were gonna do, right? I so I like that we got Spitz back. You know,
Yes.
Mister.
Yes, we did.
He was like staking out everything outside the building that they the Deuce was gonna be in there, right?
Mhm.
And we found out that the one of the hackers had like intel on who the my bad on the had a way to contact the one of the persons from the M house, right?
Mhm.
And they used that to their advantage, and apparently somehow I don't know I don't know I didn't really pay attention, but like the police were able to deduce that it was gonna be the same building that they deduced it was gonna be. So like the police even got involved, but we have the boss of Total uh tell him like you guys gotta keep them safe no matter what, right? So
Mhm.
that was pretty neat that she kind of went against her own kind of like
Yeah.
moral code.
Yes. I was just gonna say that too. I was gonna say that I'm glad that even though it's taboo and wrong to support him, right? Because he's not an investigator in or yeah, and Ron, and that's why Ron has to like do it for him, right? Pretend that it's him.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad she plays along with it, and
Mm-hmm.
she even yeah, believes them, and yeah.
No, yeah, and pretty badass idea to use the supposed hacker as bait to lure out the person. Didn't quite work out because the person that was a hacker ended up trying to leave the place that they were supposed to meet the person from the House of M, only to almost die by chandelier.
Mhm. It was really interesting that that it was really just like a puzzle for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like it was really set up for him, like the whole hacker people,
Oh yeah.
the whole deal of it, like, oh, we hacked something, got all this crypto money, and since then we've been getting stalked by this person, and now we're getting killed, for not
Yeah.
giving out our cold waters, cold wallets, or whatever. And then they integrate that. Just happens that one of the um that
Well,
they integrated that the they made one of the hackers themselves, like
yeah,
like
so Winter was the one that was like, okay.
yeah, Winter. I liked her.
Yeah, her design is cool.
She yeah, she
She went in the force, right? She went there to basically
what
test Ron, right? She was constantly testing
right,
Ron,
right, of course
and
that it was the whole thing.
I like how we have the main
Hmm.
evil guy just kind of like calling, like don't underestimate him,
Right.
So,
Yeah, for
which he
sure.
turned out to be right because Ron was able to figure it out that it was probably somebody that was close by that did the second killing, so that it would throw
Hmm.
them off because I think the first one was like well, they didn't do it either. Like none of the killings they've really done it. Well, the first killing they didn't do it, but the second one was like close by, right? So it would throw them off as to whether it was a sniper or something because he had a bow stuck in his chest, right? So
Yeah.
really, that's really cool, and you know I like how it ended with like the big explosion. So and that was where the actual third hacker was, I believe. Um, I don't think it was confirmed, but I'm willing to guess that's where the third hacker really was.
Right. No, of course. Yeah. I mean, he really caught it before the last guy was killed, really. But yeah, I really liked that. Um, the he kind of at the moment he said no, the person that killed him had to be, like he felt like he said they were leaving him clues, like
Yep,
there was no way that someone with an arrow, so far away with the smoke screen is gonna have a perfect,
yep, exactly.
like
Or be able to kill
like
somebody, right, from far distance.
mhm
So there was
mhm
clues, but
like the exact same like be so perfect at it, like it's
yeah,
really impossible.
yep.
So there has to be like a trick, and
Mm-hmm. And
once
luckily,
you figure that out, you kind of figure out the setup that they're set up in a way, and that it was you know all is set up. So
yeah, and it continues on to the next episode because like we don't know if
yeah.
who was in that explosion. We pretty much can deduce that that was also planned to like kill off the hacker just to
Hmm.
keep his mouth shut. But yeah, I like that we're pushing our main boy Ron and like so early on, right? So it really makes this like a battle of the wits, for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, they do. The other dude does look merciless and smart as well and sharp.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
it will be a good rival,
oh, oh, for sure. He definitely will come into play more, and
a
he'll.
worthy rival, because
Mm-hmm.
nobody has been able to really rival him per se.
Yeah,
So
exactly. But
that's cool.
yeah, I mean, Toto got some decent screen time too. He saved the hacker slash the House of Mem like impersonate like the House of Mem like disguised person.
The
So
imposter.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I like it. I'm liking how this second episode was a lot better than the first for me, for sure.
for sure. For
Okay.
sure.
Um, got anything else you wanna clue in?
No,
No.
that's it.
All right. On to the next one. And
Most notorious talker.
yes, so we finally met best girl of the season. I think, right? We can agree, right?
The what?
For the most notorious talker.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like one of the best ones this season. I mean, this new character did not disappoint. Like
Nope.
fuck, she did not disappoint at all.
Yeah,
She
I
was
mean,
perfect, even for him, you know.
oh yeah,
And
for
he's
him.
a very particular guy, like you know.
Hmm.
And
I
and I love the story too. That it comes from like his grandfather's rival, you know, like
yeah, you know what they say. What is it? Your enemy yesterday is your friend today, something like that.
right.
And no, I like how we still see Noel being kind of like stuck up and wanting to be the leader now, right? Now he's really putting his foot down that he wants to be leading because
Man. Hmm. Yeah.
like the wolf sends him an invite to his thing, but he's like, okay, I'll join, but you'll have to make me the leader,
Yeah.
and and everybody in the wolf's team was like, yeah, we should just let him be. He's a lot smarter than you. He's more handsome. You know, we'll pro.
It was just yeah. No, it was. I know. I was loving how honest this show kind of is, right?
Yeah.
Like like um and at the same time I was really hating the way this that they wanted to put her being honest with the whole situation, you know? Like when she really went to him and said that, "Oh man, you're so smart and you're
Mm-hmm.
this, son of the warrior, the warrior." Um I too bad that you have this skill that will never make you, what you really want to be, kind of thing. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
like, damn, like
you're talking about like the end with Alma, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She just kind of, and I was just like, fuck, like
I like how
I don't
she
know. And
she
it was
complimented
a
him
little
first.
bit, like, that's what I was going to fucking say. Like, to me, it's a little bit contradicting on her part because how are you gonna say that his eyes and his like look and what your grandpa told you about that, certain like look in the eyes of someone, blah 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 blah, and you backed up and didn't even mess with him because you knew it was gonna be difficult for you, and now you're gonna tell him that what.
I
So
mean, I just
I
more
don't know.
so like I think like this is kind of like her baiting him, like kind of like she's definitely staking him out for something. Like we don't really know. Like she obviously wants to be with them, right? I don't know
Hmm.
whether that she meant that like romantically because
The
towards the
seeker, the seeker. That's what it is.
yeah yeah and yeah like she wants I guess she wants have have him close to either be kind of like rivalrous or just act like a love interest. I don't know, but I like how this girl was full of surprises, right? Because
Really
she's
rough.
she's a she started with like trying to be an assassin class build, right? But
Yes.
the way she was raised by like her grandfather was like in the old way that the assassins did things where they either kill or be killed, and that wasn't working with like how the new association was being done because they wanted to build
I know she
influence.
couldn't. She didn't get to be part of it. Yeah, that was kind of. Well, that was kind of like I don't know, but yeah. I mean,
I mean, you just think about it,
I
right?
guess.
They
Yeah,
wanted to
like
be kind of like out in the open and build make it like more business like. So to do that, you needed to keep your talent, you know.
mhm.
So that's why that. that organization she tried at did not work for her because she
No, I understand that part, but I don't understand her not being able to adapt to that, you know, or to
um I just
or
think
to
I just think she's
get
she's
with that.
stubborn. She's stubborn.
Mm,
She didn't wanna abide by those rules. Essentially, that's all.
right.
Just like our boy Noel doesn't really like to abide by a lot of rules. He likes to really like how do you say blur the lines a bit. I mean, last episode he just sold his friends to slavery.
Right.
So it is kind of like a thing they have in common. They're both very set on their goals. Uh, and like poor fellow that tried to like get at her, right? Try to strike her, and he learned real quick that she was not just a pretty face.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then we have like after like that showing, like Noel was like, okay, I need you in my crew right away, right? And
Yeah.
but of course he has to be calculated about it, and he's like, okay, well, I say I want you in my crew, but first we gotta make sure you can adjust to like my skill set, right? So
I
he's
know, and put her to the test with the bunnies,
yeah.
which
So
she did with flying colors. So good for her.
oh
Good for her. He did you see his fucking like look?
yeah.
So malicious
Mm-hmm.
and
Because
evil in
he
the word.
he knows he just got a gem handed to him practically, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna find a better assassin slash uh what was the other
See, mate. Yeah.
what was the other class he was doing? Mage, was it?
I think so. No, I don't. No, I can't remember to tell you the truth. I just know the assassin one.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
But yeah, she was definitely like one of a kind, though. Like
Yeah.
top notch
Well.
party member.
Well, with her skill set for assassinhood, she'd be ranked like A or something like that.
Mhm.
So, but because she had to switch to a different class, she got ranked to a C, which is like more up the alley for Noel, because he's also ranked a C, I believe, right? So,
Mhm. Yeah.
but obviously, because of his skill, she's probably gonna be worth the nasty.
Yeah. I think we can kind of see that he's not gonna stay with the big party, and
No,
instead, it seems like he's gonna start with just her and their own thing
I mean he
from
rejected
there.
them. He said like the guy didn't want to work under him, so he's sticking his guns
Mm,
to his own club,
yeah.
which is good for him.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. He needs to be the leader next time for sure.
I mean, he should have been the leader in the last one. They might have not gone
For
in
sure.
depth, you know.
Mhm.
But this just goes to show that he really did throw away his old skin, where he didn't want to be involved with the leadership role, and now in this one, he's like, all right, like a snake, I
There's
have
no other choice. Yeah.
like a snake, he has to like grow as well by like shedding his old skin. So pretty good, pretty good.
Mhm.
Now, do you think we're gonna meet the next character next episode? Like the next?
Maybe not. I don't think so. Or maybe. You never really know what pace they're gonna take it. It took what, like 3, 4 episodes to meet the first one,
I
but you
mean,
know.
yeah, it seems like it's going at a decent pace. I haven't noticed it being too fast, so we'll see.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay,
So we'll see.
all right, that's it, right?
Mhm.
All right. Up next, the
Yakuza Fiance. Oh,
fiance.
Fiance Yakuza. Yeah, Fiance Yakuza.
No, it's Yakuza
Yeah.
Fiancé, I think. But
Ah.
anyway,
Mm, mm.
we are
Yeah.
we have romance in this series, in this season, and I like this one so far. Kirishima is growing on me, even though he's not really growing on Yoshino. Mm,
Agreed.
you know, she's getting pretty annoyed with him, and he's over how do you say, like, clingy.
Yeah,
Eh, and
he is acting a little clingy. But
I mean, he has good intentions. He wants to make sure she's safe. He wants to make sure he knows where she is at all times.
I
Even
like that he attempted to pay her back in this episode.
at
Like
the end, yeah.
that was that was that was legit to me. Like I was like, oh, okay. I mean, the guy's a little bit like real considerate, like actually considerate, you know?
Yeah, he's
Like
real.
she didn't even consider it that. Like,
I mean, no, she just took out her own kidney, got 4 million, and he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna double it and pay more, right? And you know, good on him because this was quite the episode for him as well, right? Because they're essentially trying to find this this girl from the
more
Aka.
like something's happening in the underground world, and they decided to get themselves involved. God knows why. Like
Well,
because it really didn't really have to do anything with them. Like they were lying to some other like family or whatever,
yeah, they were like
or
part.
getting.
Yeah, they were part of the Akasa enterprise, right? That's what it is, and they have friendly relations with his the his grandfather's family.
Right.
So they was kind of more so like, just be on the lookout for this girl, and let us know if you find her or anything, right? He
Mhm.
did not have any idea that she stole 500 million from the Filipino mafia, you know,
Right.
and poor Yoshino, because people were on high alert of this. She had to spend the entire day with Kirishima, and
Mhm.
the only reason she was able to get away was because he had to attend a funeral late that night, and she went shopping for her hair dryer, and she found the girl that all these Yakuza people were looking for.
Yeah, strike of luck. I'm really just surprised that she got involved with, by telling the other guy,
Mm-hmm.
I can see the other guy getting involved because she told him about it, so it's like an excuse to, to do so, to see her or do something, but I don't know why she got involved, like
Yeah, yeah,
so but
it was,
but I mean, it's just crazy because it turned out to be like a whole like mafia like
yeah.
meetup, like cartel,
Well,
like
they did tell us, right, that there's factions in the city, and there's been like uh technically people from each side are not supposed to like attend their turfs, right?
hmm
Or it'll cause like problems for the family that they belong to. But because Kirishima, luckily enough, he's adopted and he's not necessarily part of the family. He when he goes and causes trouble on these turfs, it won't go back to the family. And
which makes no real sense when he's representing that family, but okay. Uh,
it makes no sense. You're right, but that's how they're saying it, because he's not biologically their the person's child. So
mm-hmm.
I do like, however, that we get like a little more about his upbringing and how crazy he was as a child. Snapping bones, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, forcing his way into this household, basically, right? He had
Yeah,
he
because
basically said, "I'm gonna keep breaking bones. You might as well just take me
yeah,
in."
exactly. Exactly. He said in this area, in this atmosphere, it's okay to break bones.
Yeah.
So let me be part of it. Yeah.
Yep.
That dude is really psycho.
Oh yeah.
Real
He
psycho.
he sure is. I mean, he seems pretty. Aside from his psychopathic ways, right? his other side is a bit more. It's just annoying, but he comes from a good place, right? It comes from a good place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now to get back to like the mafia war things that they got caught up in, right?
Uh,
My God, poor Joshino. She got smacked right in the face.
yeah,
Oh my God.
which put him on a spin, but
Oh, he went like berserk after he thought they
yeah,
hurt her, right? And he just went crazy. He just started.
she just let it like it's just a nose spin.
It's like, oh, I didn't even get this from him hitting me. I got it because I fell on the floor.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
she's funny. She's funny.
Mm-hmm,
And you fell on the floor because the fucking man hit you, bitch. Just
mm-hmm.
like.
Exactly. Nah. And she's even it gets even more funny because she just wanted a hair dryer, man. She just
Yeah, for real. And she didn't even get to. It broke.
well, she
Like,
broke
too.
it. She broke it like on the head of one of the people, on like the person that hit her.
Mm-hmm.
So now it was like,
Yeah.
but this did show us that she is able to calm him down when he gets in this berserk mode. I guess you want to say,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
that's definitely interesting because I was getting ready to like say, oh no, he about to commit murder on like high degree here, but
I know. I mean, I'm sure he has and does, but yeah.
mhm. So I I like how they basically complement one another, right? Like he's the psychopath and the clingy person and the annoying person, and she's more like the calm person, the more common sense person.
Yeah.
But she can get a bit like
The more
ang-
homebody.
yeah, she's learning, right? She's learning the ropes of the town. So I'm loving her character. Another
Yeah, she's dope.
another of my favorite
I like her hair and her hairstyle.
yeah.
Her bangs and like split in the middle. It's very cute.
And we get it. We finally get like a small reveal of somebody else from the family that's in like the intro. He looks cool as fuck.
I know, right? It looks just like the dude,
It's
just with
prob
like different hair.
it's
Right.
probably the actual son. I want to say. So this guy's the adopted one, and then the one that got shown at the end of the episode is probably going to be the real son. On the bright side, Yoshino is getting her hair dryer, so good way to end the episode. Now, you think there's going to be love conflict between this guy and Kirishima?
Triangle. Maybe the other guy's just gonna do it to bother him.
Mm,
Sees that this dude is being all, head over heels or like um a sip. But probably just does it to get on his nerves.
sure. Yeah.
So
Hopefully it's just like that. I definitely.
I don't think it's going to be from her or anything.
Yeah.
So if so,
I mean the main target here is Kirishima. She wants to uh completely break him, I guess, right? Break his heart, like her grandfather said. But we'll see if she does that or if she actually finds this guy more appealing to her.
mm, yeah, I don't know. I don't think she like I know that she's supposed to do that, but I don't even see her like really trying to go for that. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see once she actually gets into the idea. Because I mean, and with her, I feel like she's still in the shock phase
Yeah.
because this dude really turned one on him.
One on
First
her.
he fucking like degraded her and like insulted her in order to leave, and you
Mm.
know, and then now it's like all this. So
And I was like,
it's
marry
hard
me,
to
step on
even
me.
believe it. Yeah,
You know,
it's even hard to just believe it and buy it.
yeah. Well, we'll see.
But we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see how,
yeah,
once she gets used to the idea what she really does with it.
exactly. All right. Well, that's it. On to the next one. Next one, tying the knot with the Amagami sister.
Yes.
Oh,
Um, was very
all right.
cute
Before,
episode.
yes.
Hmm.
Which of the day was your favorite? Since we have 3 dates or three
I have
marriage
to
days.
say the middle girl one.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Okay. Uh, care to elaborate? Since why you like that one over the small sister and the better sister?
Well, the older sister tried to like ditch him, so that was already kill the mood.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she might have her good reasons and whatever, but because she feels like her sisters are really, serious or,
Yeah. Okay.
legit for him, and she's not. So why would she really bother? Um, and then, but so that's why her date is really not
Okay.
taken too much into context.
Okay.
Um, but for the other two,
For the middle one, since it's your favorite, let's
I
talk
I
about.
mean I did like the whole concept of the marathon with the small one,
Yeah.
but the whole getting stuck in the shed, go get me my things in the fucking morning, was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I didn't get any of that. So,
Well, for me, they just needed an excuse to use that. Oh, we got stuck somewhere together. Cliche. That's all it was. And it also like, but it.
her, but I'm saying her because they were kind of like in control of the dates, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm saying the fact that she put themselves in that situation, um, during the date, it's just like in the morning, go get my things so I can, like it's
All right.
just
So
doesn't even really make sense. Like,
how I
while
fig.
the other middle one really did like make sense all throughout, and it was a cute normal like date
All
too.
throughout,
Yeah, because
even
she was
the
like trying
even
to act,
the even the start
even her
where
act.
you,
Yeah, even when she was acting,
you
I liked it because it really like um show their dynamic, like just how they handle like curveballs, like
okay.
and conflicts and things, like he was like, you're creeping me out. You're creeping me out, like like why are you talking so formal? Why are you being so nice?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
and and she's like she is, so she gives her reasoning. So I don't know. Like I said, it actually makes sense for them. It wasn't.
All right. So I will
Yeah,
say
definitely
I would say I
good.
did like all the dates that did happen. Right.
Right.
My least favorite was the small one because all they did was fucking run, and he basically tried to play an endurance test on her, and he failed because he was like, I'll die before like a middle schooler can like outrun me or like stuff like that, and then she outran him. You know, so he did not start off so well in that one. Um, the the middle one, I was like, okay, well, you started off kind of awkward, trying to like jump on top of him and making him try to get you pregnant, but we'll forgive you because you ended it up with a cute cute date with full of cats, right? So the cat stuff was like really nice. I enjoyed that. She kind of was like, "Oh, next time I'll come here with my sisters," right? And it's like, but
And the little keychains were cute too.
Yeah, the
They
keychains were really cute, and
were
her giving them like one of the cat keychains
cute.
too was really nice because it kind of really,
Yes.
like you said, further their dynamic and stuff together.
Mm.
And but I personally enjoyed the oldest sister because well, that's just best girl
Mhm.
for me, right? So
Yeah.
uh the way that she, like you said, it might have been bad that she ran out on him, but at the same time it kind of like showed that he was taking this stuff like more seriously.
Mhm.
And also like it really made him like just spend what time they had left in it together doing something that 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 she enjoyed. So like he took an interest in her, and he put all his other responsibilities aside, and he was the only one that was like really shooken. That was the one that shook him up the most because he basically nearly died at the end. So uh,
Well, in the first one too. Well, kinda.
well, no, the first I like. So what I really liked about this episode is that it really showed that he, no matter who he ends up with, he's gonna put his full foot forward, right, at the end.
Anyways, didn't you see in that episode he dreamt that he fucking married them all? The motherfucker.
So it appears that that was a dream that he married them all, and I've been saying like even in the first episode he had a dream. He was also like in a dreamlike state where he had them all in uh like as brides basically. So I feel like that's the ultimate ending
I
that.
don't know. At the end of this episode, it felt more like a premonition and
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
eh,
this episode kind of solidified what I told you about in the first one, where I'm like that felt like a premonition that he was gonna marry all three of them, and then this episode's kind of like going in that same direction at the end, where
yeah.
he's gonna they're
Yep.
basically going to make him marry all three. That way,
Hmm. It
the
was cute his little fall and broken bracelet and
but see
you
that's the thing that I don't get. The bracelet got broken, and it was supposed to be in the dream, not in real life, right? So like, how why is it broken if it was
hmm
supposed to be a dream? So that's
because it's probably the spirit, you know.
mm,
I don't know. It's probably something to do with like yeah, the spirit, like the fact that they're priestess and all that.
yeah. So do you think it's
So
like some like godly what you call it? Puts
just like you saw that thing that put the bracelet out of the fucking tree to their hand. That's what I
yeah
meant.
yeah. So like
You remember that?
yeah, that's been like an occurring thing where it's like some sort of like uh
Yeah,
thing
external like yeah
supernatural.
power or
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
yeah. So that could be it. But yeah. Other than that, I don't have much to say else on this. All three
Yeah,
dates were
that's it
cute.
for me.
Okay, well, on to the next one. Demon Lord
Even
to
Lord.
2099. So, brand new one that just premiered over the weekend. Uh, really, I gotta say, I really enjoy the aesthetics and the overall like
Hmm.
plot that's happening right now. Uh,
Definitely the palette and the design are exquisite. Love the
yes,
neon and futuristic. Very cyberpunk, right?
yeah. So
I like it.
since it's new, I guess I'll just give the small synopsis of it. Technically, the world is safe. Heroes beat the demons, and demon lords, whatnot, right? And essentially, this world uh came crashing with the Earth, and instead of like imploding both worlds, it kind of like merged them together. So now we have Earth, being advanced by the technology that's in this universe, right? With Magitech, I believe, and then the Earth technology that's just regular Earth technology is getting advanced because of that even further. So they merged both technologies, and now we skipped 500 years after the Demon Lord gets defeated by the Grand Hero Graham, and boom, this is the Demon Lord reawakens. Okay, pretty quick synopsis, right? Okay. Um, who do you like more, the Belto or Machina? Those are our two main ones.
Which ones?
Belto,
Like the girl or the demon lord?
yes.
Yeah. Oh, I like them both, to be honest. Um, he's definitely a little old school, like
Yeah.
stuck in the past, of course, like
Mm-hmm.
um, but but she's really really cute and very down to earth. So I think they make a really good you know duo, like
Yeah, I like
like.
how.
But I mean her if I really need to pick, so.
Yeah, I mean, we got like other interesting things, right? Because the war that happened really took a toll on Demon Lord, and now he's basically 500 years behind, like you said. So
Mm,
he only comes to realize how much of a disadvantage he is after a few things, right? One, he shot a
mm.
magic uh for weather magic up in the sky, and I guess you are banned from doing that, or you know stuff. And then the other one was when he met one of his former what was it, like servants, or like his retainer, whatever, and he pretty much schooled them because of this new technology that he himself is developing. And his,
He's nothing special now. It,
yeah,
uh,
so this technology is so good. They call it the Magi Gadget Familia, which basically, so most spells take like 5 separate steps to even activate, right?
mm,
And this one basically cuts those things down by like 3 steps. So you get quicker activation, and you don't have to remember all the spells, because I think it also, you can implant whichever spells you want into this tech,
mm,
and you would
yeah.
and not only can demons use this tech, or like the immortals in here, they call themselves, but humans and other species can also use this tech, and it's simple to use. And this pretty much makes it obsolete that for the demon lord, who takes like an extra like 3 seconds to activate his spells, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how technical they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Like technology catches up to natural talent, like kind of thing.
Yeah, I like.
So even when it comes to magic, I think that's a pretty good concept. They kind of
Yeah, because
make it like we were able to replicate it magic as a technology.
yeah, I
So.
like. So this is what I really like about this season of anime. We have this one and also the magical girl one, right? That have
Mm-hmm.
kind of like magic based around technology now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like this concept of like evolving magic through technology, like you said. and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and we pretty much have the demon lord just like contemplate to himself, like if he's gotten weaker, right? Or like,
Mm-hmm. No, they were just getting stronger.
yeah, but they just gotten
Get
stronger
strong.
because he lost all his advantages he had thanks to technology. So
Mm-hmm.
basically now
Yeah.
he's lagging behind in power, and Marcus being a dick is not gonna. He said he wasn't gonna give him one because
Yeah.
he's afraid that he'll overtake take him basically, right? Because the Demon Lord wants
Mhm.
to rebuild and reconquer this world, and Marcus was like, "Nah, I'm pretty high up, already."
Yeah,
And
that is a betrayal. Poor guy. Really had to come to a betrayal. And it's like, and I kind of like that it didn't come from, that he just kind of found that on his own.
yeah, and he makes a point of that, right? Because when
Mhm.
Machina goes to see him and tries to take him to her place, he was like, if you even if you would have told me, I would have still gone anyway, just to make sure.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
either way, he was gonna have a rude awakening. Either way, but at least they gave us a nice parallel of the Marcus
Mhm.
and Machina, how they both took
Mhm.
separate ways. He went, betrayed him, got richer. Machina stayed loyal, and she basically makes bottom of the barrel salary. And I
Right.
like how the Beltol was kind of seemed more human after he realized what sacrifice Machina had, right? Because he's like,
Mhm. Yeah, that was cute. That was a cute ending. That was a cute way to end their reencuentro, their meeting.
yeah, and
So.
it was very much appreciated. And yeah, we there was also like lore about how after the Demon Lord got defeated, how there was discrimination against the immortals, and how they were basically laws being passed to produce weapons to get rid of them too. So just the fact that
Mhm.
she was able to endure all that for 500 years and be able to to be in the state to like welcome him back, right, was really nice.
Yeah. Very nice.
So aside from that, I am looking forward to him getting his new clothes, because my god, he was getting made fun of the entire episode for that, for what he was wearing.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see him train with the new tools and how much powerful he. So.
Well, the thing is, I don't think he'll be able to, because Marcus is the one that manages the gadgets. I don't think he's gonna sell them to.
No, like train. I don't think he needs to use those particular
Oh, like,
tools. He can just train and use whatever, other things. Like,
well, there's also like a lot
like
of other things, because I think
yeah, exactly. That's
there's
what I
laws in
mean.
place where you can't just openly use magic like that. So we'll see how it goes. But
Yeah.
overall, like, I
Okay,
think
that's all.
this is probably like uh already looking to be shaping up to be one of my favorites this season, just off this first episode.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Pretty good episode. Laying out a lot. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you?
a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to him getting stronger, whatever ways it is. Yeah, I know he will.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
looking forward to that. And
Me too.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to see what other technology they got, because we had a katana in here that was
and his
used.
other servants. I mean, we already heard the one, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. That'll be it for this one
Mhm.
then. Hey yo, just wanted to let you know that if you're seeing this, hearing this, Peachin and I didn't get to record any more parts for this episode, so hope you guys enjoy what we do have recorded, and hopefully we'll be better off next week. But till then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and catch you on the next one. Bye.